They tell me Ed Sheeran's in his car. Ed, are you there?
No, I'm actually just sat in a hotel room, actually.
Oh,
How are you?
well, see, I'm doing well. This is how the voice, what do they call that game? Telephone, right?
Yeah.
They said he's in his car right now. I said, well, that sounds dangerous. Don't have him call now, but you sound very relaxed in your hotel room.
Yeah, I'm chilled. I'm good. I'm in New York. I'm about to film Tiny Desk. And yeah, everything's good.
Well, it's good the performance was fantastic. We had a chance to see you do Shivers in person, meaning on our screen as we watched while you were in person there. How did it feel to perform in front of everybody?
Just good. I think, it's one thing for artists to feel joy at performing again, but it's another people just enjoy gigs more now. I've done 2 full shows back in England, and the crowds are just fantastic, man. And I just love being back at it.
Well, I think, never would you ever, or would I insinuate you would take something for granted, but there are times where you do a lot of shows and there can be a burn factor to being on the road and traveling and doing all of it. I would imagine that many artists look at it all differently now.
Yeah, I do. I think there's 2 types of artists now. There's artists that can't wait to get back on the road because they've missed it so much. And I think there's artists that have been on the road for their entire life and have now spent a year and a half in the home that they've not really lived in. And they're like, actually, this is actually quite a nice way to exist. So I think you're going to get people touring for a very long time and people not touring at all.
Well, we've had a chance to live with Shivers for a little bit now, which is fantastic. Congratulations on that release.
Thank you.
I will tell you that there are 2 songs that I put into one playlist that I'm playing back to back while I jog. One is Elton and Dua Lipa's song, and the other is Shivers. I find that if I just play them over and over again, it gets me through a very fun, upbeat, intense cardio moment.
That's me. It's an honor to be part of your gym playlist, man. And isn't it so great that Elton is back and flying so high? I'm so happy for him. So happy for him.
It is. We were with him the other day, and he was saying, I think he used the word zenith. He said he's at the zenith of his career. Have you talked to him about this new album he's got?
Yeah. I mean, especially since I've become a dad, but more so, he would ring me every week before, and then I had a friend pass away in March who was close with Elton too, and since then I'm not lying here, he rings me every single day. In the morning we have a catch up. I rung him yesterday when I saw the charts come through in England. He's top 5. I was like, man, this is so great, congratulations. And I just love him. He's such a kind soul, and he is everything that artists should be to the generations below them. He teaches me so much about just being nice to the new people, because the new people come in and they're hot, shiny, really successful, and it's suddenly some artists will get their back up about that and feel threatened, whereas I learned from Elton just to be just hang out with them, and then you root for them, and then it's all. And so I'm learning so much from Elton.
It almost gives me chills to hear that a little bit, because, I'm sorry for your loss and for his loss, but to have someone in your life that you can probably confide in that might understand it like no one else has got to be a good thing.
Yeah, I think this industry, as you know, man, is there's so many ups and downs, twists and turns, and getting round just who's rooting for you and who's wanting you to fail, and having someone that you can go to, and I know Elton's heart. I know where he is and who he is, and know that anything that I say to him, I'm going to get an honest response from, and that's just very important to have, I think.
So we're talking with Ed Sheeran here. Shivers is out now. You can pre-order his new album, Equals, which is coming out just before Halloween. So we're a few weeks away from the whole album. Are you excited for that moment, and what will you do on its release day?
I think lots of promo. I think I've got lots of interviews and lots of stuff. Me and my wife, before the release of each album or project or whatever single, we always usually go for a nice dinner the night before, stay up until midnight and crack a bottle of champagne or whatever.
I did maybe speaking of cracking, I read. I don't know where I read. Maybe sometimes I don't know if I dream these things if I read them, but I think I read somewhere that if you have a memorable evening or dinner party and you have a bottle of wine, you keep that bottle signed and on your piano in your living room. Is that true or is that made up?
No, it's true. It's actually the guy that my mate that passed away was the one that started it. So he whenever I would go to dinner with him or he'd come around my house, he'd always like draw on a bottle of wine and then we'd sign it. We'd write the date, we'd write what we ate and blah 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 blah. And it was just a tradition that I sort of kept from him, and even more so, I'm glad that I did it now that he's gone, because I have all these wine bottles on my shelf of nights that I had with him. So like I just do it on nice occasions, or if I have them with, I don't know, where did I like I went to a nice restaurant with the guy that runs my record label that signed me way back in the day, and we celebrated 10 years of Plus. So I've got a bottle that says 10 years of Plus, and it's me and him signed it, and Julie, who runs the label over here, and blah, 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 blah. So like stuff like that. And I don't know, I just look back on the shelf and you just remember these lovely nights.
Do you think that it's gone fast for you since your big breakthrough, a decade ago? Has it gone fast, or how does it feel to you?
I think in some ways I look back on it and go, where did the time go? But I think in some ways, like I look back on who I was, how I dressed, where I lived, what I, just the all the things. I was like 19 and I'm 30 now. I'm married with a kid, and I think life is very, very different, and I can see all the stages. I think it's actually flown. Oh wait, sorry, someone's ringing the phone. I think it's flown by in terms of like releases and music and tour, but actually in terms of real life stuff and feeling like an adult, it feels like it's happened very gradually.
I think you told me, Ed, that last time we spoke that you were recorded like 250 songs.
Yeah, but I was working on. I've got another album that comes after this one, so I was basically working on 2 records at once. So there was a lot of songs flying around.
Very exciting. Lots of music in the future then from Ed Sheeran. Shivers is out now. Again, I hope to see you in person real soon, man. I appreciate you being so generous coming on the show.
Oh man, thank you. And yeah, I really, really hope to come back on soon. I think I'm doing like SNL or something in November sometime, so I'll be over in New York, but I'll definitely see you for that.
Looking forward to it, Ed. Thanks so much again. Take care.
Nice one, man. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. I mean, how about Elton John calling him every single day and just being a great mentor and friend? That's cool. Now I wish we had Elton back on to talk to Elton about that. I mean, it's very, but you're right. If you are an artist and you look at a career, I think I heard Ed Sheeran saying, that's the person you want to be with the kind of longevity that he's got. And then embracing, not threatened by, but embracing new young artists.
I think that's the kind of guy Elton John is, because I know Charlie Puth has told me many times too how Elton is the same way with him. Like he just really embraces new young talent. I think that's really cool. You love to hear that. I also like the sound of Elton rings me versus Elton calls me. Rings is it's just a more romantic, charming way of saying it. Right.
Give me a ring.